Hello everyone, my name is Big Boy Nappin, and in today's video we're going to be theorizing about a little Dromora known as Lyranth of Fool Killer's clan. But before we dive in, I'd like to take a moment and say just a few quick things. Firstly, thank you all so much for the support and positive reception of my recent Elder Scrolls videos, and to anyone who subscribed to me recently, welcome to the channel. Stick around because there's more Elder Scrolls content on the way. And secondly, guys, I am 100% confident that I know exactly what direction Elder Scrolls wants to take the character Lyranth. I'm telling you guys, I can see the future, I know it's going to happen, but I need to explain a few things so that we're on the same page before I tell you guys what's going on. So let's dive into the video. I hope you guys enjoy it.
I admit that, to me, most mortals look more or less the same. Give me a moment. Yes. I recall that odor. The distinct smell of overachievement and quiet desperation. I do remember you, little mortal. What entertainment you provided me.
What is a Dromora? They are the foot soldiers of the armies of doom. Stronger and faster than mere men, older than even the most ancient elves. They wield magic and steel together in furious harmony of destruction. Clothed in the armor made of pure ebony and quenched in the blood of their slain kin. They are merciless, cruel, sadistic, and everlasting. They are the Dromora. Dromora are an intelligent humanoid Daedric race that despises mortals. They refer to themselves as the Kin. The Dromora are commonly associated with Mehrunes Dagon, although many Dromora serve the likes of Molag Bal as well as the Prince of Pestilence Periite and the Trickster Prince Clavicus Vile, just to name a few. Dromora have developed a complex social structure, with each individual belonging to a particular caste. Individual Dromora are noted to be able to advance or fall in rank within this caste structure. Each Dromora is named to suit their purposes, although the true names of clans and individuals are not spoken, for fear that they might be used against the Dromora. Dromora societies and formations exist within the clan systems found in service of Daedric princes. While it is generally assumed that Dromora serve Mehrunes Dagon, with the name of the clan that serves him currently unknown, Molag Bal also has two entire clans at his disposal, that being the Deathbringer clan and the Fool Killer's clan. Boethia also has a clan in service to them, known as the Bloodwraith clan. Perhaps if this video reaches 200 likes, I'll do a video on the Bloodwraith clan next.
Hope is the cruelest torture of all, little mortal. Have you not yet learned this lesson?
So now that you have a proper context on what Dromora are, we can better examine a specific Dromora, Lyranth. Her paleonymic name, or Daedra-bound name, is Wakepenet Kamdo. Wakepenet Kamdo. Yeah, close enough. These types of names are often called anemic, refer to an entity's incantatory name, or true name. It is said that by invoking an immortal Daedra's true name, it will drain its vital force into oblivion, which causes the entity to follow. And you can imagine that that would be a horrible experience. Think of it as like your essence, the very thing that makes you you, right? What your soul or your spirit. Think of that as it being ripped out of you and forcibly crammed into a different plane of existence, like really quickly, abruptly, right? Terrible thing. Wouldn't want to go through it. Even in this situation, though, Dromora, they don't actually die. At least, not by the standards of the inhabitants of Nirn. When a Dromora dies, and this also is the same for Daedric creatures, like Clanfears and Daedroths and Scamps, and it's also the same for Daedric princes, right? When Dromora of any kind die, they are sent back to Oblivion and will eventually regain their physical form. So think about that the next time you fight a Daedroth or a Scamp, right? This thing that you're fighting, it could have already died like 1,000 times. You never know. All the Daedra that you fight going through Oblivion gates, the Daedra that you fight while you're trying to close dark anchors, you never know how many times they've actually fallen in battle just to rise up again and go straight back to battle.
I have been studying the beliefs of some of your Daedric cults. Ah, the sweet ignorance of these deluded fools. They have no idea what they are actually dealing with.
When we first meet Lyranth in Cold Harbor on our grand quest to stop the plane meld, she convinces us to help enact her revenge on the Deathbringer clan after they apparently killed her entire clan and left her as the sole survivor. Now, if you want more details on how that actually happened, there's a quest that you can go on in the Imperial City where you'll find out that the Deathbringer clan performed some sort of spell or ritual, what have you, that when they killed members of the Fool Killers clan, their souls would be bound to this armor that was supposed to be worn by a Twilight. It was a really cool quest, although there's not a lot of details on how that actually happened, like the process that they went through in order to enact this plan. And there's not a ton of detail about why they decided to do it, like what would have been the catalyst for the betrayal, and whether or not you could even count it as betrayal. I mean, both clans do serve Molag Bal, but again, they serve Molag Bal, the god of schemes, right? It's important to remember about Dromora that they are going to act basically the same way that the Daedric Prince they have a blood oath to acts, right? So if you think about the Dromora in Oblivion, there's a reason why the hero of Kavach was never able to really converse with the Dromora. There were some brief instances where Dromora would say things to the hero of Kavach. They were capable of speaking the common Tamrielic language, but they didn't want to, right? There was no point in them doing that because they had a blood oath to Mehun's Dagon, and that dude is all about destruction and revolution, conquering world powers for the sake of them no longer being world powers, right? And trust me, we'll be getting into a video about Mehun's Dagon in the future. But the point is, whatever Dromora clan has a blood oath to a Daedric prince, they're going to behave similarly to the Daedric prince's behavior. And in this case, the Deathbringer clan and the Fool Killers clan, they're both have a blood oath pact to Molag Bal. And from what we know about Molag Bal, he's always plotting and scheming to grow his own power. So it's reasonable to assume that the Dromora that are bound to him, in order to gain his favor, they would want to be doing the same thing. They would want to constantly be plotting and scheming for their own power, only to be able to use their power to aid his causes. But it would still be something that they do to gain his favor, to get his attention, to get more praise from him. These Dromora, they basically worship these Daedric princes as if they're gods. at least for the most part. Lyranth is a little bit different, but we'll get into that later on. So, you can consider the Deathbringers fighting the Fool Killers as just an attempt at seizing power, is the best way that I can explain it. A power play, if you will. You see, the Fool Killers clan before then likely had more favor and status within Molag Bal's eyes, and that likely drove a wedge between the two clans. Eventually, things boiled over, and in the wake of their conflict, only one clan remained standing.
I am concerned that you do not have enough enemies. A Dromora is judged by the quality and quantity of her vendettas, after all. Is it not the same for mortals?
Lyranth didn't avenge her clan out of love or a way to cope with the loss of her people. To her, it was more of like a business move, in a sense. To further illustrate this point, Lyranth understood that by helping the Vestige lead an attack on the Deathbringers clan, she was indirectly helping the Vestige make their way closer to fighting Molag Bal himself. What better enemy is there than the Lord of Schemes? You see, like Lyranth said, a Dromora is measured by the quality and the quantity of their enemies. Remember that. Is there really a better enemy than the god of schemes, Molag Bal? I don't think so.
I visited one of your Daedric temples recently. The mortals there seem to hold an entirely unwarranted regard for those tiresome entities. When was the last time a so-called god actually answered a prayer or smote an enemy?
So after the events of the Waking Flame DLC for Elder Scrolls Online, Lyranth absorbed a power known as the Four Ambitions. And I know right now you're probably asking, what is that, dude? Basically, it's a quartet of powerful beings who are closely linked to both Mehun's Dagon and Nirn. You can look at it as like them being a living tether that makes it easier for him to gain access to Nirn. As to what happened to Lyranth when she absorbed the Four Ambitions, you're going to have to form your own opinion on that. Unfortunately, we don't have a direct answer as to what really happened to her. Now, there's a couple different obvious things that could have happened to her. She could have now formed a connection to Nirn. She could have now formed a connection to Dagon. She could have gotten a massive power boost. Or it could have been all three. And for me personally, due to the lack of information around the topic, I believe that that is what happened. That she received a massive power boost while also forming some sort of connection between Nirn and Dagon. What those connections really mean, we don't know. I could probably do a whole theory video on just that. But for the sake of conversation and to continue the video and get to the point that I'm trying to make, I think that that's what happened. You let me know your personal thoughts down in the comment section. I would be fascinated to know what you think became of this whole situation and what happened with Lyranth. All right, so where is all of this leading to? What really is Lyranth's end goal? Well, we know that Lyranth is trying to amass powerful, respected, and feared enemies because of her culturally influenced belief that it will make her more valuable as a Dromora. But does that really mean that there's nothing more to it? Well, if I believed that, I wouldn't be making this video that you're watching. So buckle up. And by the way, thank you for watching this video. So let's consider a different possibility. Lyranth isn't going to be able to take the place of a Daedric prince, nor is she going to be able to kill a Daedric prince to begin with. Not even the Vestige was able to kill a Daedric prince during the events of the Plane Meld, neither did Martin in the Third Era's Oblivion Crisis, despite the fact that both of them had received magnificent power-ups by godlike beings. It's safe to say that Lyranth is far beneath those feats. She isn't going to take the place of any Daedric prince anytime soon. But I believe her goal is somewhat adjacent to the prince's. If you ask me, all the pieces are right there. It's practically right in front of us. Lyranth's end goal is to become a new Daedric prince. Now, I know that might seem a bit crazy, or it might not. And if it doesn't, then go hit that subscribe button because we're going to agree on a lot of Elder Scrolls stuff. But for those of you who don't see it, just consider this. It's canon that the hero of Kvatch ascended and took the role of Sheogorath, and he wasn't a Daedra at all. Or was he? People on Earth are actually Daedra. So if non-Daedric beings can become Daedric princes, then why can't beings who are already Daedra, right? I don't think Lyranth is aiming to take the place of a Daedric prince, and that's an important distinction. I think she's trying to become a brand new Daedric prince. And think about how cool that would be for future Elder Scrolls games. Imagine this, okay, man? Think about this. You're playing Elder Scrolls 6, and you're going on a Daedric artifact quest, and you find out that it's actually Lyranth giving you the quest to go get the artifact. Maybe she's, like, become the next Daedric prince, or, like, the newest one, or what have you. I think that that would be so amazing. A character we've seen go from the bottom all the way to the top. A character that we've seen have nothing, have her entire clan wiped out, and know that she's climbed the ladder all the way to the top to being her own Daedric prince in charge of her own little corner of Oblivion. A story of being portrayed and treated like vermin to now being feared and respected by even the strongest and oldest of Daedric princes. I 100% believe this is the direction Elder Scrolls is hoping to take Lyranth. And if I'm wrong, then I guess you'll have to come back here and tell me how dumb this video was and how poorly it aged. But for now, we'll just have to wait and see. Thank you so much, each and every one of you who watched all the way through this video. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I really do read every single comment, and being able to hear back from the community is one of the best parts of making these videos. So please don't be shy. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on Elder Scrolls content that we've got coming out in the future. Thank you all again for the amazing support. This community is truly wonderful, and I'm so happy to be giving back to it after enjoying the games for all these years. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll catch you in the next video, you filthy casuals.